CNN admits most Americans can't find one good thing about Biden's presidency as approval rating plummets. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out. Also, hit that alarm bell and subscribe so you know when we put out new content. And check out my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here on YouTube. And also check out my merch where we got t-shirts. Let's Go Brandon t-shirts. I will not comply t-shirts. A whole bunch of t-shirts. All that is in the link in the description. I have a link tree there. All right, let's get into this. Even CNN is being forced to admit that the majority of Americans are deeply unimpressed with President Biden. With inflation continuing to soar, the latest numbers released this week have only confirmed that price pressures are spiraling out of control. 6 out of 10 Americans are telling pollsters that there's literally nothing Biden has done during the presidency that they are happy with. The findings stem from a CNN poll conducted by SSRS in January and February. Now this is big because CNN is a leftist media company, and I'm surprised by even their own viewers aren't siding with Biden and the Democrats, because by extension the Democrats are connected with Biden. So uh, the latest poll numbers confirm that the president's approval rating has fallen sharply over the past year, which has been marked by ongoing stupid 19 related restrictions and increasing price pressures, which Democrats memorably scoffed at when they were passed multiple when we were past multiple $1 trillion stimulus packages that economists have widely criticized as overkill. And we're gonna be paying for it now. Just 41% of respondents approve of the way Biden has handled his job, while 58% disapprove, a significant drop from last January seen in polling. Unsurprisingly, dedicated Dems are still standing behind their man, which I don't understand. But I will say I can't remember the Democratic congressman that said it, but he even admitted that the Democratic Party is toxic right now. And this is with the mainstream media protecting them and basically holding water for them. But just 36% of independents and 9% of Republicans approve of Biden, while that number stood at 83% among Democrats. Last year, Biden's approval among Dems were higher than 90%. Overwhelmingly, respondents said that Biden's first year in office had been more of a failure than a success. The Omegatron wave and the inflation that started to pick up during the second half of last year have done by far the most damage to Biden's credibility. His approval rating for handling of the economy has dropped 8 points to 30%. I'm sorry, 37% since early December. Meanwhile, his rating for stupid 19 have dropped 9% to 45%. I'm sorry, 9 points to 45%. When it comes to the best way forward for the U.S., Americans are deeply divided. Nearly three-quarters of Democrats, 73%, said that stopping the spread should remain the highest priority. I mean, still, though, people are still like this, but however, 72% of Republicans and 54% of independents outnumber both registered Republicans and Democrats, which is really surprising here. In the U.S. by a sizable margin, said it was time to learn to live with the virus, and most people say it's time to live with it. It's time to move on. Looking ahead, Americans are overwhelmingly downbeat about the federal government and its ability to adequately represent their interests. So I'm pretty surprised about this. People are waking up slowly but surely. People are waking up. I wish they would have listened to us back during the election and was like, "Hey, this guy's no good." But it is what it is. I'm not even gonna get to the legality of the election and stuff like that. But The share of Americans who say they felt even somewhat well represented by the federal government remained low at 32%, and only 21% of Americans say they currently had a lot of confidence in Biden's ability to provide real leadership for the country. The share who said they had a lot of confidence in the president's ability to work effectively with Congress has dropped by half since last March, from 32% to 15%, including a 28% point drop among Democrats over that time. Biden's approval rating has been declining for some time now after an extremely brief post-election honeymoon. Polls show that President Trump's favorability rating with the American public is currently higher than Biden's. But to put their approval numbers in more appropriate context, Trump favorability was higher at this point in his presidency, despite the non-stop leaks from the Mueller probe. That certainly doesn't bode well for Democrats in Congress ahead of this November's midterm. But let me know what you think about these poll numbers. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time. Peace.